Serious topics, you guys. So, what we're going to talk about today is domestic violence. So, it's been something that's been coming up so much this week. That's why I decided to put the resources on my website because I want you guys to have resources. I want you guys to use my website as a resource, right? So, even if you do any of my programs or join my pageant that I have in Dallas, or if you guys just read my blogs, whatever, right? The whole purpose of my website and my brand is to build awareness and to provide self love, healing, and confidence. That is what I'm all about. But domestic violence has been something that has been coming up for me. 3 different people in 1 week. Okay, so I've said, you know what? Let's talk about it. So it can be emotional. It can be emotional abuse, physical abuse. It can be I want to say financial abuse too, and it can be physical abuse. If I didn't say emotional, physical, it could be financial. It can be verbal. That's what I was looking for. So here's the thing. People are like, how do I know? Do a simple Google search on your partner. Like, it's nothing. You can do jail and their name and see if you can find some information. Sometimes you can't, right? But that's a start. So, before you get into a relationship or as you start to get to know people, do a Google search. But how do you know the signs of these things? Because some of us, I realize, just want love, and we gotta have love, we gotta have love, we gotta have love type of energy, that we accept things, and like these red flags, we just accept them. Like, okay, yeah, it's a red flag, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Like, it's like we'll push through it. Stop pushing through stuff. Okay, y'all know I got a 30-day rule for y'all. Like, if y'all doing the manifesting a partner, stop pushing through stuff. But domestic violence can come in so many different ways. So I did Google some things, or not Google, but I did do a quick search on some things that could be things that your partner does, or you may see. You may see like they're trying to control or manipulate situations. Um, I I think lying is one way of manipulation. If they ain't telling you the truth and they always making themselves seem like they're the best person in the world, that could be gearing you up for something major. If they are is jealous all the time, like extreme jealousy, that's another reason. I mean, that's another way. Emotional abuse is another. Like physical aggression or threats is another one. If they're threatening you, I'm gonna slap the out of you. You know what I'm saying? Or don't make me hit you. Don't be like, Lil John John, that's so cute. Like, Lil John John, it's time for us to break up. And you know what? A lot of these dudes or a lot of people don't like being broken up with. I'm going to tell you something. I know somebody, well, I've heard of a story that this guy, every time like, a girl try to break up with him and, like, kick him out their house, they get aggressive. That's when you finna take their livelihood, boy. They getting real upset about little things, and like you threatening their safety, and they get aggressive. But look at to that. See that, like, is this man or this woman able to hold her own place? Because you try to take her place, y'all get upset and you try to take her place or his place of living, they may get aggressive. And how many times have you gotten aggressive? Have you ever had your own place? I know in bigger cities, people don't, like New York, Cali, a lot of these people, they don't, rent so high, so they trying to shack up. Pay attention to that. But that's a emotional, oh yeah, I did say that. Isolation, keeping you from your family, that is another way. These are narcissistic characteristics too. We need to talk about that too. Excessive criticism or blame. If they're always blaming somebody else and they never take accountability, that's a sign. If they're always blaming you or they always criticizing you, or if you have these conversations and they always find a way to bring it back to them, that's it too. Okay, mood swings, being unpredictable. Not knowing what you're gonna get with the person. You gotta walk on what you gonna call it? Walk on eggshells. That is a sign. Um, Overbearing is another one. Being unreasonable with their requests or their expectations. Blaming you for their actions. If they start blaming you for something they did wrong, well, I remember one dude told me, and this is real life, told me, I wouldn't have got with her if you never broke up with me. And look, I'm having all this problems and all this. I was like, are you kidding me? You gotta be. And it was like years, but like I said, well, don't blame me for your problem. Don't blame me, cause blame yourself. You made that choice. Just because I decided to walk away and still stay in the way, you choosing the wrong person ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. Um, unwilling to unwilling to respect boundaries, not respecting your boundaries. That's something else. And if you have these characteristics, fix them. Okay, fix them. Go to therapy. I'm not a therapist, even though I'm in school to for psychology, but I'm not a therapist. Okay, I just have a sociology degree, a bachelor's in sociology, and I am trying to better us as people, as women. But these are signs of abuse, that your partner can be abusive. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are paying attention to that. Like I heard a story of the guy not showing this hand for a long time, but they always but they and this is a friend of mine. She was like saying that her partner, they got into a physical situation after 3 years. She never had seen it, but she said like he always used to blame her for her actions or his actions, or he would never take responsibility for his actions. It was always somebody else. It was always the blame game. But these are just little things that we can work on, or we can just see that are issues before we get into like in these relationships, because things like this only get worse. And so I'm going, like I said, I'm working on it. So it depends on when you watch this video. Just make sure you check out my website, Crowning Our Queens. I'll link it below. But I am working on building a resource for women. So like if you find yourself in any situation where you feel like you got to let go, or you got to leave these situations and you don't know where to go, that there's resources that you can actually use. Another thing is your money. Always make sure you have your own money. Always make sure that if anything ever happens, you can rely on you. Okay? If your man wants you, or your woman wants you to be a stay-at-home person, make sure that you do a business or something. You got something going, or you go to school or something. You got something going for yourself. So if this just a plan B. There's nothing wrong with having a plan B. Okay, because people who feel like they have something over you on with finances, they feel like a lot of people feel like, oh, I own her, I own him. You know what I'm saying? So be careful with that energy too. But it's important to have your own, or try to get something established. Okay, so those are my tips or my signs that as far as like domestic violence and seeing it before it happens or knowing it. Google your partner. Okay, Google. You get what I'm saying? Do a little report. It's nothing wrong with Googling your partner, because he may not want to tell you that they've been in this domestic violence thing. Google. It don't hurt.